Are you tired of creating marketing strategies, trying to figure out what to write about, what to do a video about? What should our next podcast be about? If you are, you need to listen into this episode of B2B Marketing Excellence. But before we get started, my name is Donna Peterson, and like I mentioned, you are listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence podcast. In this podcast, I usually go around the world and I talk to business leaders and marketing executives about what is working, what is not, and how can we all save time by getting right to the sources that work. But today I'm changing it up a bit because today I don't have a guest. Today you've got me. And I want to talk about B2B marketing, how it's changing, and what you need to set up so that you can have success in 2024. So let's jump in. Like we talked about at the beginning, we are all tired of sitting down, figuring out marketing strategies, trying to figure out what content to create. But now we do have a source. We have tools now available. There are a lot of AI tools coming on the market every day. And I know I've heard from companies, no, we're not going to use AI tools. And I'm here to tell you there are some great AI tools out there as long as you use them properly. But let's first talk, how has B2B marketing changed? B2B marketing used to be you created this one piece of content that went to your target audience and you sent it out and you got in the sales and the money. But then that's changed. Why? Because there's more competition out in the marketplace. So now your marketing messages have to speak directly to that individual. It's no longer about promoting yourself. World innovators can't go out there and say, we're a 43-year-old B2B marketing agency, work with us. People will be like, who the heck cares? How can you help me? And that's what you have to do. You have to create those marketing messages that educate the individual about how can you help them with their challenges. You've got to create those marketing messages that the individual reads and says, oh my goodness, they understand. They understand what I'm going through. And then as you educate them and give them more information, they'll realize you're a thought leader. You're an expert in your space. They want to work with you because if you're an expert in your space, you're going to get the job done. You're going to get it done faster, and they're going to see the best responses. And that's why your marketing messages now have changed. You don't just create one marketing message to your target audience. We now take our target audiences and we break them up into little pools. So for instance, if we were just talking about decision makers, we might want to say, okay, CFOs here, CEOs here, engineers here. And you see, you have to create different messages for those people because those three titles want to receive different types of messages. Your CFO wants to know all about the numbers and the bottom line. The CEO wants that full picture. And our engineers, no fluff, get to the point. How is it going to help us? How does it work? And you're able to do that now, but that's so time consuming. Think about it. You're thinking about originally there was one piece of content. Now you need three, and that's only from my example, but you have to keep changing it up because you want to nurture that individual. So you send one piece and then you send another piece of information, and maybe then you send them a different piece of content or something else they can download, a checklist or a guide. or you send them a podcast of an interview, you've got to constantly be changing up the content you send them across different channels. So you get them in all the different places that they're looking with the information that is specific to them. Yeah, I know it's a lot of work, but when it's done right, that's when the magic happens. When it's done right, that's when you see, you may not get tons of sales, but you see that nice, gradual, more people are interested in your website, in your products, asking more questions, and then the sales start coming. And then you see the repeat customers, and you see, you know where we're going. You get that nice increase of sales year after year, instead of maybe this or this. We don't want that, right? None of us want to go downhill. We always want to be going up. But with these new AI tools, it can start to save you a lot of time in a variety of different areas. It can start with brainstorming ideas, helping you create outlines, giving you what channels to put it on, creating it and scheduling it out. There is a plethora of AI tools out there right now. And now is the time for you to sit back to figure out, how do these AI tools work? How can we as an organization implement them to help us stay within our mission and to achieve our goals? Like I said, the business landscape is extremely crowded. And in 2024, we're going to see a lot of changes. And B2B marketing has to be about building relationships. And that only happens when you speak directly to the individual about what they need, what their challenges are, what their goals are. When you do that, they're going to be interested in what you have to offer. Now, today, I wanted to go over just a few AI tools and how they can help you in saving some time. And what I will do is, after this podcast is posted, I will go and put like a quick slide deck that I have in the comments for you to review, because in there are some demos quickly of some of the platforms, or they're quick images of the platforms, just so you get an idea of how I've used it for World Innovators or for some of our clients. So definitely listen to this full podcast, hit subscribe, always hit subscribe, and then come back and get the presentation or the slide deck that will be in the comments. So leveraging AI in your marketing in 2024 will definitely save you time. But my big warning is, you've got to be careful. As you use these AI tools, as much as I love them, you still have to make sure that the information that it generates is accurate. You've got to make sure that any content you go and you put out there in the marketplace has to sound like your brand or like you as an individual. And so you have to monitor anything that is generated. I always like to say to clients that it's a baseline. It's an assistant. It is not replacing the human or the critical thinking or that emotion that only humans can bring into it. So please keep that in mind. So let's go through a few of the different AI tools I like to use. Let's start with my first one. I'm going to go in order kind of as I use them when I'm sitting down with a marketing strategy. The first one is I go to vidIQ. I go to vidIQ, and I know this is predominantly for YouTube and videos, but I like to use it because it helps me see what is of interest to people. What are people looking for? So I can put in, you can go to an AI generator right there within vidIQ. I can put the best B2B marketing tactics. And I can hit return and it comes back and it can tell me by level, like high, it's, searched a lot, medium, low. What are people looking for? This way, I don't waste my time creating some kind of content that no one is interested in. I'm now creating only content that people really are searching for and want to read. So I start there and I start just getting ideas. I usually don't take them verbatim on what is there. I always had it in my head. Like, for instance, for this podcast, I knew I wanted to talk about marketing in 2024 because here we're sitting in October. Everyone has to get organized with their AI tools so that 2024 can be a successful year. So look at vidIQ for some ideas on content. Then what I might do is I might hop over to ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, I might go a little further by saying what would be some great content pieces to put together on that specific topic. And it comes back with some ideas. And then I might say, well, what would be a good checklist to use? And again, I just fiddle around with ChatGPT. I ask it more and more prompts to whittle it down because remember, it's great that vidIQ gave me a possibility of ideas and brainstorming ideas, but then I have to whittle it down so it's specific for world innovators and our brand. And I'm able to do that by asking more specific prompts. So you want to do that. Then maybe now I've got my idea. I've got an outline of maybe what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to write about. I might hop over to Canva. And now Canva has this whole magic presentation area. They can create images for you. But within Canva, I use it for our designing. So if you need a thumbnail, if you do need presentations or a slide deck, if you want to do any type of graphics, a logo, a printed piece, a brochure, calling cards, whatever you can now do within Canva. And it's really quite simple. I've done things where I've gone in there, I've created a presentation or a slide deck. I was able to create some postcards off of it, just so that everything is uniform and it gets done. You can do it all, your printing products right there within Canva, and it's pretty sweet and it saves a lot of time. So go there for your graphic designing. So now we have our idea, we have our outline, we have our thumbnail or any kind of graphics we want to use. So let's say I want to go live. I want to do a LinkedIn Live, a YouTube Live, whatever it is. I hop onto StreamYard. StreamYard, I like that platform a lot. It's very easy to use. You can do live streams, you can do recorded screens. Even within StreamYard, you can set up webinars. It's been a very seamless platform for me to use. And it also has other AI features there, but I hop right onto StreamYard with the thumbnail, with my title now that I've created from the idea I got from Vidyard, and I have an outline of what I'm going to talk about. What's great about that is because if you're like me, sometimes I get these great ideas, but this head of mine kind of goes, and I lose track. So maybe I might be here talking about one thing, but then I'm talking about this and I'm talking about this, and it doesn't flow. So with an outline, I'm able to start with a good intro. Like today, we're talking about B2B marketing and AI tools. Then we're talking about how you can leverage these AI tools as you go into 2024, how these tools can save you time, but also can help you pinpoint topics that are of interest to your target audience, or maybe topics your competitors are talking about. It's all very interesting. You can find out a lot from these tools as you fiddle around, and you can see what other people are doing and what people are responding to. And then, of course, when you have all that, that's when you can start to master it and put it together into a cohesive strategy. So let's get back to our tools. We had vidIQ. We had ChatGPT. We used Canva to get our graphics. We've got StreamYard to go live with. Then after StreamYard, now I've got this video, and it might be a lengthy video. Maybe it's 30 minutes. Now I might pop that video into Descript. Descript is a video editing tool. And this is great because I've used StreamYard for a live, but maybe now I want to clean it up a bit so I can go in, take out my filler words. Maybe a video that I did 6 months ago has some content in that's older. I can go in, correct that content, and overdub it with my own voice. And a good example of that is if you had content where you said 2022, well, soon it's going to be 2024. You don't really want to be saying 2022 anymore. So you can go in and you can change out the year, and it gets replaced with your voice saying the right year. The other reason I love Descript is maybe the background was really noisy when you were taping, or maybe they decided to come mow the lawn or, sweep the parking lot. I don't know what it is. Some loud noise started to happen. You can bring it into Descript. Again, you use their AI feature to put yourself in a photo booth. And then what that does is it drowns out that noise so that all they hear is you. So they feel like you're in a professional audio booth. We all want to be professional, and this is a great way to do it without having to go and retape the video. So Descript. Then after Descript, this platform I do like a lot. It's called Contentware. This is an AI tool where you can take that URL from a video, from a podcast, from a webinar, from an event of any sort, or a landing page URL, you put it into Contentware, and then what it does, when you put your campaign summary description, it starts to calculate and compile some ideas about what you're promoting, and you've got to go review those. Remember, you've got to fact check it. You got to make sure it sounds like your brand and sounds like you as an individual. You finesse all that or add any missing pieces, and then it creates an email, it creates several social media posts, and then it schedules it out based on the schedule you set. So if you say, well, I only like emails on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock and Thursday mornings at 8 a.m., that's when it will schedule it out. You say you want your LinkedIn posts only once a week on Wednesdays, that's what it will do. So this is what it all schedules it out for you. And then it gets integrated usually with a lot of different marketing platforms. Ours is HubSpot. So we can then approve it and send it right to HubSpot, right to our marketing platform, so that all the results are in one place. But think about that. Within minutes, it's taking that URL, it's creating the email, it's creating the social media post, it's letting you select the images, and it's scheduling it out. I can't even tell you the amount of time that saves, but besides saving you time with that initial promotion, what it also helps with is because you're able to say, okay, I want this to go for 3 months, 6 months, it gets the material out there across multiple months, several different times. And that is something we were guilty about in-house, because we would get our podcast, we would promote it out there, but we weren't very good at repurposing or getting it out there multiple times. You don't expect everyone to be sitting at their desk waiting for the B2B Marketing Excellence podcast. They're not. I wish they were, but they're not. So we have to send out promotions on the different channels several different times so that it gets as much visibility as possible. I recently read a Forrester article, and this one I thought, oh, thank goodness someone else is saying it. They are saying one of the biggest issues that companies have is the underutilization of their content. We're always creating new content, but the thing is, we all already have great content. We need to put legs on that content. We need to freshen it up sometimes, give it a new look, give it a different image, give it a different subject line, and get it out in the marketplace multiple times. Like I just mentioned in the beginning, what if you did have that great promotion piece, but it was general in nature? Well, now take that general piece, ask ChatGPT, could you please rewrite it as if it is going to a CFO or the CEO or the engineer? You see how that saves you time? It is your content. It's what you wrote. You're just tweaking it a bit so it's more responsive for your audience, and you'll get a better response rate. And then the last AI tool that we use, because we are HubSpot users, is ChatSpot. Now, ChatSpot is connected with HubSpot just because ChatSpot was founded by one of the founders and owners, Darnesh, of HubSpot. And so this has been a great way for us to seamlessly add records into our HubSpot account, look at content we should be doing, look at analytics, analyzing results. But you can also analyze results with your ChatGPT, vidIQ. That can give you good analysis of your YouTube channels. So a lot of these AI tools might have analysis with it that you need to dig around and look at, because you need to figure out what is working, what is not. You're always testing. And then one of the things is you want to make sure with all these AI tools that you don't end up subscribing to all these tools with hopes that it's going to save you time and then end up being just bombarded with too many things to do, but also find that the tools overlap and you're paying all this money, but are you truly utilizing the tools to their full capacity? Let's repeat that. Are you utilizing all these tools to its full capacity? That's what you have to monitor. You have to monitor and make sure that anything you have, anything you subscribe to, that you use it to its full capacity. For instance, I know people who might get on the HubSpot platform and all they do is use the emails. Well, that's not cost effective. You need to use your social media there. You need to do some blogging there. You need to create your landing pages or your forms there. Only using one part of it is a waste of money. And plus, then you have all this other stuff out on different platforms to keep track of. In this day and age with so many different platforms, the best thing you can do is try to consolidate as much as possible to have them in one place. So let's do a quick recap of what we talked about. And I know this was a lot, so please come back and download the the slide deck that I'm going to put in the comments about these different AI platforms. Like I said, I'll give you the URLs. In some of the cases, I give you a little demo of how I've used those AI tools, or I show you an image of it. So definitely get that. I think it's a great resource. It's a great starting point, if anything. And then you have to figure out which ones are good for you. And then there's others I may not have mentioned that you could come back to me and say, hey, Donna, did you ever look into this? And we can discuss it further. But a quick recap of this episode of B2B Marketing Excellence is marketing is changing. B2B marketing has changed immensely. It is all about building relationships. The only way you can build relationships is when you truly know and understand your audience. You send them information that helps them out, that educates them, and lets them see that you really are the expert in your field. For instance, there are tons of marketing companies coming out every single day, but do they know all facets of marketing? You need to know all facets of marketing to be good at marketing. You have to understand the history of marketing, where it was, where it's going, and what we can foresee for the future. You need to be always tweaking your messages. These AI tools can save you a lot of time by helping you brainstorm ideas, giving you outlines, scheduling out campaigns so that you can set up cohesive marketing strategies that really nurture the individual. AI is not going to replace humans, at least not right now, because right now, especially in B2B marketing, it is great to use the AI tools for all this initial being assistant and a baseline. But then you need the humans to finish up that critical thinking of the strategy part, but then also the emotion. And of course, with every campaign, in person, meeting with people, getting that connection. Like, yes, you might be talking to someone about their B2B marketing, but how was your weekend? Did you go downhill skiing? Did you go for a run? Those little connections is when those relationships get deeper and really help you form the relationships that will last a lifetime. B2B marketing can be a great way to grow your business if it is done properly. If it is done when you have a true understanding of your audience, you can use the knowledge that you have. You can use these AI tools to help you streamline your processes and save you time so that you can spend more time on that critical thinking strategy part. Now is the time. You've got what? Few months before the new year begins. Now is the time to start researching these AI tools, testing them out, seeing how they work, so that at the beginning of 2024, when they yell, Happy New Year, you are ready to start literally a happy new year because your marketing will be all set up. And you won't feel as stressed about your marketing strategy and content and timelines. You will feel really secure in your position that you are heading in that right direction to help your business grow. I thank you for listening today. Please subscribe to the B2B Marketing Excellence podcast so you do not miss an episode. And have a great day. Bye. Thank you for listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence podcast. Please hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss our next episode. And in the meantime, if you'd like to talk to me, please feel free to send me an email to dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. Till next time, have a great day.